Mockado is a woolen pile fabric made in imitation of silk velvet from the mid-16th century. Mockado was usually constructed with a woolen pile on a linen or worsted wool warp and woolen weft, although the ground fabric could be any combination of wool, linen, and silk. Mockado was used for furnishings and carpeting, and also for clothing such as doublets, farthingales, and kirtles. Mockado was introduced to England from Flanders in the mid-16th century. Dutch and Walloon weavers fleeing Spanish rule in the Low Countries were creating mockados and other fabrics combining silk and linen with combed woolens in the weaving centre of Norwich by 1571. Varieties included plain, with an even pile, and tuft, or voided mockado. Mockados were woven in solid changeable colors, and were sometimes stamped with patterns in imitation of more expensive Utrecht velvets. Mockado was always a rough fabric, and by the 1580s, the term mockado was synonymous with inferior or tawdry. In discussing the Old English tradition of new clothes at Easter, folklorist Peter Oppy cites Thomas Lodge's 1596 pamphlet Wit's Misery. The farmer that was contented in times past with his russet frocker and amp mockado sleeves, now sells a cow against Easter to buy him silken gear for his credit. In the 17th century, the term mockado ends was used for a wool yarn, probably a worsted yarn similar to crewel yarn of that period, likely used for embroidery and making braids and fringes. Mockados continued in use for furnishings such as wall hangings, chair covers, and stools, as well as carpeting. A patent was issued in England in 1741 for a new invention of making carpeting commonly called French carpeting or mockados, and in France moussards, or moquettes.